Okay. Well, again, thanks for joining in. People trickle on in and come and go. Again, the replay will be up. Just wanted to share with you guys some more things that I wanted to continue on from last week. Last week I kind of broke down 2018 in a nutshell, and again, that was as quick as I can compress it all into one live for you. But one of the biggest things really that I mentioned in the first place was my change in my diet. And for me, a lot of you maybe have known me and what I used to eat and things I used to do, and my routine, my regimen, the things I used to put in my body, and you know, whether it's 5 to 6 meals a day, protein, carbs, fats, all these different things that I once thought and understood were to be healthy and good for me were, I wouldn't say not, but they're just different. And again, I had to be aware that I need to learn these new things. And so I just kind of wanted to go over just my switch of going from a, meat, animal product, more processed food kind of deal into a plant-based diet, plant-based natural lifestyle. For those of you who know or don't know, I've been plant-based this whole 2018, and it was absolutely life-changing for me, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. And then as I learned more and more, it became an absolutely, I kind of wish I might have done it sooner. And there's always thoughts that making these kind of changes were something that I would be interested in, but never knew enough. And again, like I said, everything that I tell you here, this is kind of what I've researched, what I learned, what I studied, what I tried, what I experienced, what worked for me, what didn't work for me. And with that said, I want to help you and give you some ideas maybe to think more and go a little more in depth with yourself and to see maybe this is something I can try, or maybe this is something that might be interesting to me. And doing your own research, as always, it's not always what you're being told, it's what you go and seek and what you find, and that's very important. So like I said, believe everything that you want to believe and take it as your perspective, and I support you with ever. If you guys do have questions as things come up, shout them out, and I'll do my best to come back to them. I want to kind of keep flowing to you guys, and I'll come back to them and answer them as best I can. Now, if I can't answer them tonight, I will find that answer for you. And again, you can direct message me or text me if you have my number and kind of go from there. But it really all started a year ago. Like I said, I woke up one day and, a divine intervention, hand on my chest saying, you got to learn about plants. You got to learn about the cells. You got to learn about changing your diet. And, fast forward, come January is when I really kind of fully dove into it. But the biggest thing was baby changes. And I always say little victories, little changes in my diet. And I went from going to 8 eggs in the morning for breakfast, to 2 chicken breasts for lunch, a steak for dinner, beef jerky for snacks, whey protein shakes. And that was a staple of my diet. And then I'd have, carbohydrates of rice or potatoes, and my vegetables were spinach and broccoli. I wasn't eating much fruit. I wasn't doing a lot of things that I thought, were as healthy as they are. And, being in a fitness kind of environment my whole life in personal training, that's what you see a lot. And that's what I saw all the time was, high protein diets, make sure you get enough carbohydrates, the golden hour after your workout, the protein shakes, all these things, more. And what I eventually realized is less is more. And that, I think those 3 words really stuck with me after I learned so much, was the less I put in my body, the more life I might have. And it really started with kind of educating myself. And there's 3 documentaries, and I recommend you, checking these out. And I know sometimes you might be against it and not sure what to think about it, but there's What the Health on Netflix, Forks Over Knives, and Cowspiracy. Basically, they go in depth, pretty much as far as they can go, and as enough information as they can give you on how the lifestyle and diets of animal products is almost detrimental. It is detrimental. And the 3 things also that are as detrimental is our health. It's a diet that didn't suit me the way I thought it was supposed to work. 2, the environment, and I'll go over that in a second. Animal agriculture is just a big problem in our world, in our global environment, just with lands, deforestation, pollution, things like that. And then also, I'm becoming such a compassionate person, just the life of an animal. We forget an animal has a conscious nervous system, feelings, thoughts, and they can process things. So those are kind of the three things: the health, the environment, and then animals, that really kind of kept propelling me forward. And another thing that I used a lot was social media. And before, my social media timeline used to be covered with all kinds of things that maybe got me jealous, got me envious, got me anxious, frustrated, comparing, egotistical, instead of educating, informing, enlightening, connecting dots, making me wonder, asking questions. And so social media can be a very good tool for you, but can also be a very addictive kind of tool where we're kind of stuck in that hamster wheel of seeing the same things over and over. But if you're filling that with good stuff and information, again, that is present, take that, go learn and read about it. And so I follow about 30, 40 different accounts. You can go on my page and see who I'm following, and kind of see those accounts that I'm following. And again, they do such a great job of sharing content. And just every day I was just kind of going through it and taking notes, reading, writing, even asking questions, sending messages to these accounts. And they're very open to helping. So those are, a couple of things that I recommend you guys doing. But kind of basically how it all started. So, I decided one day I'm going to have a plant-based meal. And that was, I believe it was potatoes, some rice, broccoli, spinach, and then I put some barbecue sauce on it. And that was about it. I didn't really have that much else. And, I ate it, and it was good. I mean, it wasn't jumping out of the window of taste buds, but I felt better afterwards. And that was the biggest thing, that it was after like those 30 minutes, I almost felt like I had lost, all kind of just weight, not not on the scale, but like an energetic weight. And it's something that just triggered. And, it's food becomes an addictive substance. It's a drug. We think cigarettes, you have one puff of a cigarette and all of a sudden you might become addicted. Same thing goes for food. You have some kind of, a chocolate bar, you have a sweet tooth, you have whatever, that becomes a repetition. And so for me, that was kind of the start of my snowball. Every week I decided to have another meal and another meal. And then come by, January, February, I found myself having almost one meal a day for every week, a plant-based meal. And I saw my body change. I saw my mind starting to get more clear. I was able to focus more. My energy was pretty consistent. And it became a good addiction to me. And it was a feeling that I wanted to keep going. And so I said, you know what? I've done 28 and a half years of eating a certain way. I know what it got me. I'm going to try this way. And so as time went on, again, I started kind of losing the craving for steaks. I started losing the craving for eggs in the morning. I started losing the cravings for certain things, because what happens is your neurochemistry changes, that your taste buds change, your cells start changing, and your body starts changing in a way that it starts evolving. My workouts improved even more. I mean, I was hardly getting as sore as I used to get, and the water would help so much. And that was always the number one thing. And now just eliminating the acid buildup with uric acid, lactic acid, those are all byproducts of animal products that get stored in your muscle. And I came to realize that, okay, I'm getting all this out, because what you don't eliminate, you accumulate. And I think that is huge in this society, because everywhere you see, you're being told more. Eat more, or look at this, or 6 meals a day from someone in the gym, or, you're reading a magazine, look at all these meals you can make, or there's TV commercials on the, go to Carl's Jr. And it's almost, how do you not want to eat? And, compared to a lot of other countries in the world who have exponential health rates, and they're eating a few meals a day, and it's majority of it's plant-based with, if anything, is a garnish of meat. And so, again, I'm connecting more dots, and I started realizing the importance of detoxing, and that how, cleaning out your gut, because, the immune system starts in the gut. That's our second brain. We have a brain up here, but we also have a brain down in our tummy. And we forget that. We don't even forget it. We don't even know that, because we weren't taught it, and we weren't, educated on it growing up. And now it's becoming to a point where, the cleaner your gut is, the cleaner your mind will be, which then will have better thoughts, creating a better reality. So as you connect these dots, it almost becomes, okay, interesting. I'm seeing it more than calories. I'm seeing it more than protein. I'm seeing it more than carbs. You are what you eat, and literally is that. And, just kind of more education, just realizing, majority of us have a lot of weight, not fat pound weight, but just leftover toxins, residue, all kinds of crap literally in our gut that hasn't been exposed because of just acidic compounds over and over and over. So the biggest thing for me was kind of understanding how to eat for the 10th layer, I call it. The first layer is what we see. It's how we look, big muscles or six pack or, skinny and all these things that society wants us to feel and look like. But if you pulled that layer back, what do you see next? Pull that layer back. What do you see next? What do you see next? And these are the layers that we don't see as people, but we feel them. And each one of you, I'm sure, have eaten something and, oh, that food coma, or all of a sudden I'm anxious, or now I start sweating, or why am I getting so happy or so sad? Oh, must be something going on outside of me. Well, now it's going on inside of the 10th layer. So once you start connecting those dots too, you realize, food is thy medicine. And, just kind of right now, I'm actually going through a fruit-only detox. I'm starting this morning, for the next 3 days, I'm only consuming fruit and Kangen water. And just already today, my energy is through the roof as always, just even more, but I just feel better. But what's happening, and you can look on my page, I just posted a video just a few hours ago, basically kind of explains how fruit cleans the body, the lymph system, the cardiovascular system, all these different systems we have. You want to make sure that's being cleaned. So that's another way of looking at it. Don't look at it the first layer, eat for the 10th layer. Relationship for me before, I made these changes with food it was an outlet for me. I remember, playing basketball. If I had a bad game or I had a bad practice, I was excited to go to dinner, just so I can enjoy the food, and made me feel better to take away from that discomfort or that, lack of confidence that I had that day, or just a bad day, but food would kind of be that drug for me. Now, as much as I used to love eating, I still do, but it's not that priority. It allows me to do things like help people. Food allows me to do things like share a message. Food allows me to keep a consistent energy that people are attracted to, with the law of attraction and things like that. So there's a bigger understanding I'm starting to have with food and the food that you put in your body. Mental clarity as well, like I mentioned, the brain fog, just being able to remember things even more efficiently, just kind of having that neuro, chemical reaction of bam, bam, bam. And so I think that's very important. So again, eating for my health, detoxing, but also the planet. I think a lot of us don't realize animal agriculture and what it's kind of doing to our environment. And it's stuff that you won't see on media. You won't see it on TV. You're not going to see it on a billboard. You're not going to see it, a plane flying by it with a banner. But at the same time, it's starting to become more and more known that, animal agriculture is slowly but surely just kind of destroying our planet. And I want kids one day, I want them to be able to run around on grass. I want them to be able to go play, to go visit the beach, to go visit the mountains, the forest, and all these different things. But at the rate we're going, animal agriculture, especially number one for a lot of different things. And that's what you'll learn in Cowspiracy, that documentary I mentioned. It's really breaking down our planet. Put it, for example, we're in California, we're conscious of water. 1 pound of beef, to have that created, takes 2,500 gallons. And, we do an awesome job at times to take shorter showers, to not let the faucet run, to do all these things, but yet, swapping out that burger sometimes for a different option is going to do a lot of good. And for me personally, I didn't think, how's one person going to make a change? And that was a selfish way of saying it, because because your change might inspire someone else to do the same. And that ripple and that wake effect, that is just so awesome to see happen, is what's starting to happen throughout the world today. For another example, a lot of these third world countries who have no food and are starving with kids and all these things like that, a majority of their food is actually sent to the U.S. for animal agriculture. It's just, these are just facts, and these are facts that I had to go learn and research and understand. They're not nice to hear, but it's truth, and we got to be aware of that. Another thing was, rainforest deforestation. I love animals. I've always enjoyed being around. My toys growing up were all animals. I do care about them all. and now even to a bigger extent. But rainforest, is slowly getting wiped away, and 90% of the rainforest destruction is to raise cattle. So now you keep putting these things together, and you understand there's a bigger picture for everything. And so I think all these little things contributed to my choice to change. And people would ask me. Another thing was being in fitness too. It's a common question: is what about your protein? Where are you going to get all your protein? Where are you going to get all your calories and your carbs to build muscle and this and that? And I completely said, I was worried about that too. I was worried if I had a salad for lunch instead of a chicken sandwich, my muscles would start falling off. And, I just wasn't educated enough on it all to understand that, and this is a whole nother topic that I'll go over in the future, that we don't really need as much protein as we think, let alone protein itself. It's the amino acids that we need because we can build protein. I ask people, what is it? What is protein? What does it do? And some people they don't understand what it is, that they don't know, and they never thought about it. And that's okay. I didn't either. I just thought it was something you consume, especially within an hour of working out, and that's how you're going to get big and strong. But when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you kind of understand that there's a lot more negative things happening in the body when we're consuming animal proteins as well. And so that was a kind of a no-brainer for me to make the switch as well. And, we forget that plants have a plethora of things, protein including amino acids, phytonutrients, minerals, enzymes, vitamins, probiotics, stuff that you won't see on the back of a steak. And it's just what it is. Steak tastes good, sure. But for me now, it's not tasting good, it's feeling good. I've asked people, who had some Oreos one time, and, how does that Oreo taste today? And they're like, what do you mean? And, that Oreo was eaten a week ago. But the cells that were taken from it and that were kind of combatant on it are still trying to figure out how to detox from it. And we want to make sure we're detoxing every day. Every day is a good day to detox, not just once or twice a year, with some juice from a juicery and call it a day. We've got to constantly detox, and eating more of a plant-based diet for me allowed me to do that. And I was 232 pounds last December. Now I was about 10% body fat. Sure, I look good, whatever. But I wasn't feeling the best, and I felt heavy, and I felt, inflamed. And, people realize that just because you gain weight or lose weight, it's not so much that it's just fat. There's toxins, there's free radicals, there's heavy metals, there's inflammation, there's acids, and those clump together, that's weight. And so a lot of people, I mentioned to them, I say, well, you don't have to gain weight or lose weight. You've got to detox because you're swollen and your sponge is soaked up with all these heavy acidic things, mostly from animal products. So just imagine wringing out your sponge, and now I weigh 210 pounds. I haven't weighed this light since college, and I've lost over 25 pounds. All I did was swap out this for that with animal products to a plant-based diet. And sure, there was detox, and I'm still going through a detoxing phase, because remember, all the years you're born, the years you've lived, you accumulate a lot. And for me, especially, everyone again who knows me and know what I used to eat, I was a bottomless pit. I was a garbage disposal. Whatever was left over is going down the hatch. And so, but now it's still the same, but I don't feel that bloated feeling. I don't have that inflamed feeling. My muscles don't ache. The muscle soreness, lactic acid in my muscles from heavy lifting. I started realizing the lifts I was doing in the gym were exponentially climbing. And then the next day, no soreness. Then second day, no soreness. I was mind blown. The soreness was going away. And so just so many benefits that I could not tell you, a year ago, literally at this time that I was experiencing it. So again, putting it all together, these are a lot of the great books, and I'm going to be sharing these more kind of on my page. Another alkaline book. All animal products are acidic. They're inflammatory. The breakdown of them in the body actually causes an inflammatory response because the body doesn't really know how to digest them. We're actually frugivores by design. And again, this is kind of explained in this book that has just been everything to me, and every kind of topic you want. I mean, I got notes and notes and notes. And like I said, call me, text me, message me. I'm happy to sit down, coach you, guide you, give you some direction, because that's what we need. We just need some we need some information. We need to be able to connect some dots and just take 30 minutes of your day to learn a little bit, and a little things differently. Go out of your comfort zone. Another good one by Dave Sandoval with a company called Purium that I'm correlated with. Just the importance of green foods, and I didn't know those even existed. I thought green foods was broccoli and spinach, and I came to realize that there's way more than that. There's chlorella, spirulina, algae, wheatgrass, kamut wheatgrass, all these different things that are absolutely a godsend, literally, but been here forever. And it goes hand in hand with the human body, and they go in and cleanse, detoxify, oxygenate, nourish, alkalize. I keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. So Purium is the company that, again, I'm closely related to, and I'm happy to share all that information with you guys outside of this live. Just want to kind of cover as many bases as I can. Another good one by Dave Sandoval is Toxin That Came to Dinner. This talks about glyphosate. And that's another thing that I had to, and probably am still detoxing from myself, is glyphosate. And those of you maybe have seen with Monsanto in the big lawsuit, glyphosate being a carcinogen, cancer-causing substance that's in our food, it's in our water, it's in our air. It's literally coming down in rain in South America right now. But yet the media outlets, big publishers, all those guys are not going to talk about it. But you want to make sure you're getting rid of that, and that's another important thing. The last one that I've been absolutely mind blown is this one. Mucusless diet, written by Arnold Ehret. He's one of the three kind of people that I have looked up to: Arnold Ehret, Dr. Eduardo Bowman, Dr. Sebi, and Robert Morse, who wrote that big detox book. But this talks about how to reduce and remove mucus literally from your body. And again, all animal products are acid, inflammatory, oxidizing, mucus forming. And when you eliminate the mucus from your diet, life and vitality just grows. And so I'm learning about fasting. That's why I'm kind of doing that fast right now. My girlfriend Jilly is actually doing a 5-day water fast. She's absolutely incredible. Go follow her page and keep getting her content as well. Just how deep she goes in water, and how much she's taught me about the body is truly remarkable. And for her to and she's done these fasts before. When you fast, you kind of clear out the vessel, and then 5 to 6 meals a day. Well, wait a minute. If I don't eat for a day, what's going to happen? My muscles are going to fall off. No, they're not. They're going to love you because you're cleaning yourself. We underestimate the human body. The human body can do it. We underestimate its capabilities of recovering, rebuilding, revitalizing, renourishing, and all these things. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Again, a lot of information. If anybody has any questions on plant-based diet, how to get started, what swaps to make, how to improve, what information can I use, fire away now. You can direct message me separately, text me, call me if you got my number. Again, I'm going to be sharing so much more information on my page, and I want my social media page to be a page that can hopefully inspire you, educate you, inform you, make you kind of go, oh, interesting, those are the kind of pages that I followed to get to where I'm at today. And I think that's the duplication process that we need right now. A lot of the world is not too healthy, especially the United States. Cancer being almost 1 in 2 right now. Obviously going through that with my father, and now understanding that how important it is for diet, hydration, just peace of mind, stress relief, all these different things. And just today I was texting my dad, and he was sending me a message saying, just got my wheatgrass down. I found a new friend. It's pretty cool. I never thought my dad would be saying that, but to get those texts from him are very powerful. And, he's taken it, action into his own hands and bringing his health back to life. So again, thanks for joining me. Hopefully I can keep doing these, whether it's every Monday or I'll keep kind of getting a set day. I call them a cobcast, not a podcast, a cobcast. Just any way I can help you come out better with those initials that I have. So again, questions fire away now. If not, thank you. Replay will be up for 24 hours, and take some notes, and it's going to keep going. I got about 99.9% more to share with you guys. So I'm very thankful. I'm blessed to have you guys peeping in and join me, and I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget that. Cobb cares. All right.